Hi, my name's Sophie.
I'm Robert.
I'm Sam.
I'm Adam Hartley.
Manna.
Cam.
Fee.
Chris.
Ben Camp.
I'm James.
I'm Lucy.
It's Rachel.
I'm Ben. I'm David.
Lily Collins, and I'm the Student Engagement Coordinator for the Students' Union.
Hi, my name's Carl Hobley and I'm the President of the Students' Union here at Reading. I think like a lot of people it was a bit of a gradual process. I don't think most people anyway, don't wake up one day and think, oh my gosh, I'm this thing, I'm now a bit gay.
It was kind of weird. When I was in school, there was a rumour put around everyone that I was a lesbian, and I didn't particularly know what a lesbian was, so it was a bit of a shock to me.
It was at like a friend's sleepover and they were talking about the girls they fancied and I was just like, don't really fancy any of the girls.
I noticed that there wasn't anyone else around like that.
And at first, I didn't want to admit it to myself, and I was really scared.
I think I was probably in a bit of denial when I was younger, and it's not something that's easy to accept about yourself, especially if other people aren't accepting of it.
Because up until that point, you just grow up assuming that you're going to be straight and live a normal lifestyle like that, but realising that you might differentiate from that took a bit of getting used to.
At school, it was kind of like I was acting out like a facade, like everyone else was straight who I was hanging around with, and it felt like I was different and I couldn't act and be myself.
I was never directly bullied. I don't feel like anyone was aggressive towards me because of it, but I think there are more discreet methods of bullying, like making fun of other people or using gay in a derogatory way that kind of let you know that you wouldn't be accepted if you did decide to let people know that you were gay.
School wasn't fun, to be honest. I got teased and name called pretty much from day one and on a daily basis. Well, I don't know. I think the worst thing was I kind of accepted that that was sort of how it was meant to be for me. Like I didn't think of questioning it at all, and like looking back I kind of wish I'd have spoken to someone about it.
Looking back on it now, I could probably say that I was depressed about it, but at the time I didn't realise I was depressed about it. It's only now I'm out that I realise how much it affected me.
There was a period around when I was 16, 17 when I used to really seriously fantasize about suicide.
You get to that point of where you're tired and you don't think there's a point.
You know, if you're going for a bad patch now, but nothing exists without its opposite. Good times will come. It didn't necessarily go down brilliantly with my parents because of their religion.
I was crying to my housemate about it, and I was worried about telling her.
Nicely enough, my dad told me I was still in the will.
And I spilled it all out to her. But then at the end she was like, it's fine, I accept you for who you are, and like we still need to live with us next year.
Some of my friends that I had from school did stop being in contact with me, which was a bit disappointing. But some of my friends, my true friends obviously, stayed with me.
And I composed the most formal email you could possibly imagine. It was, dear mother and father, blah, 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 it's come to my attention, blah, blah, blah.
Actually only came out to my dad and the rest of my family a couple of weeks ago. I was really worried about how they'd react to it, so I put off telling them until I got ridiculously drunk one night.
But it was what I was comfortable with, and it worked, and I sent it off, and about half an hour later I got a phone call from my mum saying, well, you know, if this is who you are, then that's fine.
2 years down the line, they're getting better.
They were completely fine with it, and they all just said that they'd known for years.
It sounds so cliched, but it's so liberating. It's definitely the best thing you'll ever say, the most freeing thing. I don't know now. I mean, I know it's different for everyone, but for me, I kind of just think, why did I even make a big deal of it? It really wasn't.
The best thing about being out is just not having to lie, not having to constantly lie about who you are, about everything that you're doing.
Now, you might think, okay, well, I'm in a really rough school, or loads of my friends are really religious, or they simply I don't think they'd accept me, or if I came out at work, then I'd be prejudiced against.
it's much better now because I feel more comfortable being myself around everyone.
But what you've also got to think is about yourself. Deep down inside, the impact that it's having on you, on hiding something that's so fundamental to who you are.
If you're thinking about coming out, the best advice I can give you is just to be honest with yourself and realise that most people will be supportive of you, and the people who aren't don't really deserve to be in your life.
It's great. It really is. You're part of such a special little group.
University is a much more open space to be whoever you want.
You get to meet other gay people through things like the LGBT. There's events going on, there's a gay scene often in the town that you move to. There certainly is one in Reading.
Finally met a group of people who are similar to me, and yeah, I've got a new group of friends in a way.
What's nice about it, I can talk really easily about gay stuff.
Be yourself, first of all. Not only that, be proud of yourself. Really try to love yourself. I think that's one of the hardest things I found.
I think it's really important to remember that although being gay is a part of you, it doesn't define who you are.
Tell someone. That doesn't have to be your family, but it could be a close friend, because once it's out in the open, it gets better as soon as you tell more people. So yeah, to confide in someone.
You have the power to make your life better.
I think you define as it's fine. Like no one can judge you on that. You're your person, so whatever people think of it doesn't matter.
If you kind of feel like there's no one else you can talk to, then the internet is good for that, and the LGBT society is good for that.
You might feel like it gets better isn't enough, that you want it to be better already right now, and I understand, but you're already part of a massive worldwide community who love and accept you, who you are, without even knowing you, and it's so worth just hanging on to see how amazing everything is just around the corner.
You've got to think this is like a really small piece of a really, really big puzzle, and you've got to be here to see it through.
And you know what? If you've got friends, and even if you've got family that have got a problem with it, well, I'm sorry, but that's their problem. That's not yours. You're fabulous. You're gay, lesbian, bi, or trans, or whatever you are, and that's who you are. And if they don't like that, then that's their problem, and it isn't yours.
So just be confident in who you are.
It gets better. It gets better.
But just give yourself plenty of time, plenty of space, and you will work it out.
So my advice is don't give up.
And yeah, just be yourself really. It gets much better.
It gets 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 better?
It gets so much better. Just go for it.
Mum, I'm gay, so there you go.
Ice cream. Some people like chocolate, some like vanilla, some like both.
Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie.
Chocolate.
Coconut ice cream.
Cookie dough.
Please, strawberry float.
Well, it has to be chocolate, I'm afraid.
Chocolate.
Yeah, butterscotch.
Well, I don't like creamy food, so I'm going to say mango sorbet.
I'm not discriminatory about any of the ice cream flavours. No, I just wanted to. It didn't sound that great.